Oh man, one day I open my investing app and my money is growing faster than my weekly paycheck. I am Theo, Emily's husband, Liam's dad. There are three milestones almost nobody talks about: $100,000, $650,000, and $1 million. It sounds weird, but 100,000 is not 10% of the journey to 1 million. A lot of people never hear a clear explanation of these three key net worth milestones, and, even more important, what you should do right after each one to make your finances really take off. In this video, I am going to break down each milestone, and after each one, I will give you a checklist of what to do immediately. Which milestone are you closest to? Hit like and subscribe. Milestone 1 is $100,000, when you have just built the foundation and you are starting to build momentum. Milestone 2 is $650,000, when your money can generate gains big enough that you feel less terrified of losing your job and less stressed every day. Milestone 3 is $1 million, when your mindset truly starts to change. And after each milestone, there is one move you need to make right away. Do it correctly, and you will feel your finances accelerate fast. When I first married Emily, I thought I was pretty smart with money. Honestly, I was really confident. And then I made one of those painfully human, really stupid mistakes. I upgraded my car because I wanted to feel like I was moving forward. I told Emily it was safer for the family, that commuting would be less exhausting, all these reasons that sounded totally reasonable. But the truth is, that monthly car payment squeezed my cash flow hard. I still tried to invest, but every time I opened my account, I only saw the number crawling up, like I was trying so hard and getting nothing back. What shocked me was that Emily did not yell at me at all. She just said one sentence: "You are buying the feeling of security by taking away the real security." I froze. After that, I started tracking my net worth by milestones, not by emotions. I taught Liam one simple lesson. You can buy something right now and feel happy for a minute, or you can put that money toward a longer-term goal so you have more options later. Liam does not understand what investing is, but he understands the word options. And honestly, this whole video is really about that one word. Now let me quickly explain the mechanism, and I promise it will not be boring. Net worth almost never grows in a smooth, steady line. Early on, most of your growth comes from you adding money, because the gains are still small. But once your account gets big enough, the growth starts to pull you forward on its own. Here is a simple example. Say you consistently put in $500 a month. If we use a 6 to 7% annual return after inflation, just to make the math easy to picture, that is a range you will often see in Vanguard's investor education materials and in long-term historical data tied to the S&P 500. I am not promising you will get that every single year. It is just a historical average, so we can understand why there are three milestones where things start to jump in a really noticeable way. The first milestone is $100,000. I know, this is where the most people quit, because from the outside it doesn't look glamorous at all. You are still going to work, still paying bills, still watching your account go up and down. But psychologically, 100,000 is when you switch from trying hard to having a system. Honestly, when I hit 100,000 for the first time, I did not jump up and down like in the movies. I just felt lighter. And what surprised me was that this feeling of relief mattered more than any kind of bragging. Because before that, even a small problem could make me shake. The washing machine breaks, the car needs repairs, an unexpected medical bill shows up, and suddenly, you are thinking about using a credit card. Once you get past 100,000, you are not rich, but you panic less. Here is the mini payoff at this milestone. A lot of people think, if it took forever to go from 0 to 100,000, then going from 100,000 to 200,000 must take even longer. No. It is usually shorter, as long as you do not blow up your own discipline. Because now, your money starts contributing in a meaningful way to the growth. It is not just you contributing anymore. The most common mistake is people hit 100,000, then they treat themselves in a big way, and they fall right back into the old loop. It is honestly frustrating. I almost did that. After that car mistake earlier, I promised Emily I would be more clear-headed. But once my account started looking better, I got tempted again. I wanted to upgrade my phone, bump up my subscription plans, and add a few other random things. Each one was small, but together, they squeezed the exact momentum I was building. Emily looked at the spending breakdown and said, calmly, "You are doing 80% right, but the other 20% is eating all your speed." After I heard that, I finally sat down and fixed it. So right after 100,000, here is what you do immediately. First, automate your recurring investing so your emotions are not in charge. Second, clean up any high-interest debt, because if your credit card interest is 18 to 25% and you are trying to earn 7% in the market, that does not make sense. Third, optimize the big expenses: housing, your car, and insurance. Seriously, do not save money by cutting a $5 coffee while you are still carrying an extra $400 a month in car costs. Fourth, track your net worth quarterly, not daily. Checking every day just makes you more anxious. And there is one more lesson I teach Liam at this point. I tell him, you do not have to win today. You just have to not quit during the hardest part. Liam nods, then asks, "So did you quit, Dad?" I laugh and tell him I almost did, but his mom pulled me back. The second milestone is $650,000. Honestly, this is the one that changed the way I breathe. Because at this level, you start to have what people like to call options. But that word can sound kind of cheesy. So, let me say it in regular, real-life terms. 8% nominal returns, then your growth could land somewhere around $45,000 to $52,000 a year. That is just simple math, not a promise. Returns move up and down with the market. People often reference long-term data from sources like S&P Dow Jones indices or organizations like Vanguard, but nobody can sign a guarantee for the future. I am saying this so you can see that this number is big enough to change your daily life, even if you are still working. The mini payoff here is a new kind of safety. You start thinking differently about risk. Before this, risk is something you fear. At 650,000, risk becomes something you can choose, something you can actually calculate. If you want to switch careers, cut back your hours, learn a new skill, or try building something of your own, you can consider it without feeling like you are gambling with your whole life. The crazy part is, a lot of people get here and start feeling too confident. They think they are immune to mistakes. They are not. I almost got caught by one. A friend tried to pull me into investing in a project that sounded amazing. He said it was safe, high profit, and you did not have to do anything. It was genuinely tempting, and I was about to say yes because I thought I already had a big enough cushion. Then Emily asked one question. "Do you understand how it actually makes money?" I went quiet. She followed up. "If you cannot explain it in 30 seconds, then you are buying risk with blind trust." That snapped me awake immediately. Here is your checklist after you hit 650,000, so you lock things in. First, review your asset allocation. If you are all in on one thing, pull back. If you have kids like I do, I prioritize being able to survive bad financial years. Second, start thinking about a safe withdrawal plan now, not when you are in a panic later. Learn the idea of a sustainable withdrawal rate and sequence of returns risk. Because if the market crashes in your first year of withdrawals, it hurts. Third, upgrade your protection layer. Solid health insurance, the right life insurance for your situation, and a clearly defined emergency fund. This is the stuff Emily always makes me handle before I am allowed to daydream. Fourth, optimize your taxes. From what I have seen, a lot of people try to squeeze out an extra 1 to 2% by guessing how the market will behave, while completely ignoring legal tools that can reduce taxes and increase how much they actually keep. If you are in the United States, a 401k, an IRA, and an HSA are some of the common ones. Somewhere else, look for the equivalent tools where you live. Fifth, reset your life goals. Do you want time freedom or location freedom? Do you want more afternoons back right now? Or do you want to push harder so you can retire earlier? If you do not ask these questions at this milestone, it is easy to drift off course. And let me add one line so you do not get delusional. $650,000 does not mean you can quit working immediately. It means you can negotiate with life from a stronger position. You can say no. You can slow down. You can choose. And that is what actually makes you feel rich. The third milestone is $1 million. I am not going to pretend it is some mind-blowing moment. When I hit it, the first feeling was relief. Relief in the sense that, finally, I did not have to worry that one piece of bad luck could drag the whole family down. Emily looked at me and smiled, and she did not say much. Liam immediately asked, "So can we buy this and that now?" I told him, "No, buddy. The best part of 1 million is not buying more stuff. The best part is having the right to choose how you live. That is the thing. 1 million is where your mindset really changes. Before this, you see money as something you have to chase. At this point, you start seeing it as a tool. And what surprises me is how many people wreck their advantage right after they hit this milestone. They inflate their lifestyle too fast, and then they end up trapped again, just trapped at a more expensive level. The mini payoff here is that the math starts to feel simpler. Going from 1 million to 1.5 million is only a 50% increase. People often mention that the United States stock market has historically doubled over multi-year cycles, but nobody can promise that ahead of time. Again, long-term references from sources like S&P Dow Jones Indices or Vanguard are just to help us understand the mechanism. Checklist after 1 million. First, keep your discipline. Do not change your lifestyle like you just won the lottery. Second, write down your own investing rules, like when you buy, when you hold, and when you do not touch anything. This is what saves you when the market is on fire in the wrong direction. Third, diversify intelligently if you need to, but have clear criteria. Do not make decisions out of fear of missing out. Fourth, get your family paperwork in order. Beneficiaries, a basic will, and a plan for your kids and future generations. Emily basically forced me to do this, and like always, she was right. Do you want me to keep going and cover the pushback people bring up, like market crashes and inflation? Leave a comment and tell me which milestone you are aiming for. And do not forget to like and subscribe. Finally, we get to the part everyone worries about. What if the market crashes? Honestly, it will. There will be bad years, no matter what. But if you invest consistently over many years, when prices drop, you're simply buying more with the same amount of money. And history shows the market has recovered after major declines, even though nobody can promise the next time will look exactly the same. What about inflation? That is why I used a 6 to 7% return after inflation, based on the way people summarize long-term data from sources like the S&P and Vanguard materials, just to help you visualize the idea. And if you are a regular income person, I am begging you, do not wait for perfect. Start small, stay consistent, then increase over time. So here is the summary. 100,000 builds the foundation. 650,000 gives you options. 1 million changes how you see money. Which milestone are you closest to? Leave a comment. If this helped, hit like and subscribe.